I don't know. It might be. All right. So,
Encouragement.
thank you all for coming. It's
No,
been
thank you for coming.
a heck. Man, we've been going for a while on this one, so it's always fun to like get to the end of a campaign after a long ass time, and then
I wouldn't know.
and then start over with something. Well, hey, now you'll know.
What's that like?
Unless the entire country goes up in nuclear fire in the next couple of hours, you're gonna know. I hope I didn't jinx this. So.
Unless, you have to be gone for a session and your whole party fucks things up.
Yeah.
This doesn't know what you're talking about. He's completely
Oh boy, that was a hell of an explosive end. Um, all right.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Oh god. It's okay. We had some cool stuff earlier in that one, like
She doesn't forgive everyone, but
the
she forgives you, Moo.
fact funeral and everything else. That was some cool shit that we had in that one. That was fun.
That was a pretty cool campaign. Up until that point.
Everything was great until it wasn't, and then we all died. Oh boy.
Anyways, it's in the past.
It is. So, with that, I guess in mind, the question of the day I picked from our very dwindling list of questions. I'm gonna have to find a new list of stuff. We got to go look around on like all those D100 sites and find a different one. So the question for tonight is, do you fear death? Why or why not?
I'll start.
All right.
No. My mother's a goddess. Why would I fear death?
I mean, does she like you?
Don't know. Never talked to her.
I think you should know before you just go run around saying you don't fear death.
I mean, you could have talked to her if you were here last time, but...
But instead I bang your mom.
No, instead, Torta mentally banged your mom.
This is true.
We're gonna have to give Boz a little refresher on the weird shenanigans you guys got up to last time.
What the hell happened with the session?
We'll tell you. Don't worry.
We'll tell you. We'll tell you.
Shit took a left turn.
I welcome death. It's in the plans. It's in the 5-year plan.
All right. It's on the vision board. All right, Zai, Jinku.
I think Zai does fear death. So much of her life has been about survival that, like, the idea of dying just feels like a failure because she feels like she has more to her life than she has been able to live in Waterdeep. Because she's never really left Waterdeep.
All right. How about you, Jinku?
It's kind of a yes and a no for Jinku. Like, she's got a background as a soldier, so she's kind of been taught that, like, to die in battle is like an honor. But I think in a way she kind of fears it, like as much as any normal person does, just, with the unknown of it. But it's not something she, like, sits and thinks about. Like, just like any normal person. It's just, whatever. It's part of life.
All right. Good stuff. All right. So who wants to fill Vasa in?
You may. I think Boo should have to tell him.
Well, I can try and fill him in, and then Boo can fill in any gaps I may have left out. So basically, we were kind of going over stuff, and we were talking about like Boo making that pocket dimension, right? For us to have the treasure in. And so Boo was like, I'm gonna do that right now. And then he opened up a portal to Limbo, which is where Mix's mother, Lyra, is, and decided to talk to her, and Torta was with him, and Torta was like big ol' hard eyes for Lyra because he thought she was just the prettiest woman he'd
Oh,
ever
here,
seen.
let me get the pic. Let me get the pic of Lyra that I got in here.
And Boo basically tried to make a deal with Lyra to give her whatever she wanted in order to break his binds to Mix. And he thought that he could bribe her with the treasure, and she didn't want the treasure. She wanted Zyara, because Zyara had forgotten her and her pact with Lyra. So Boo then, very smoothly and not at all sus, started trying to get Zyara to remember Lyra before just saying fuck it and dragging her back to Limbo in front of Lyra. And then he got his bounds broken and was like, okay, everyone, peace, fuck it, and left Waterdeep with Torta to try and beat. Well, didn't he go and try and find Raynar's father, and then found out some important information that he may or may not tell the party, but we don't know if he will yet because he's still outside Waterdeep?
Yeah, I guess Boo, if you want to fill in what you and Torta did after you got your bones broken there. If you recall, if you don't, that's fine. I'll fill it in.
I do. Yeah. No. Yeah. After that, then I went and found Raynar's father, and I tortured him to death. For a while, for personal
Oh, and you
reasons.
almost died because of the demons, right?
Wow, I don't remember that. I must have fallen asleep.
Well, no, like, he could have died, I guess. They pieced out before the demons showed up, I
No,
think.
I don't even remember him going.
Yeah, he was trying to some demons. It wasn't the bad plane of existence, which is what Boo figured his luck put him in. But then we kind of went out, and we, once we went out, Boo and Torta had a discussion, and then after a short while, Boo showed up alone at the at our inn, and
Didn't Raynar's father tell you guys not to trust the castle lanterns?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And
Oh,
Boo
sorry.
would probably would have filled the party in. He he explains Torta's absence as Torta decided to take his treasure and leave.
Okay, so
And Boo is very hurt by this.
so
You can tell Boo is showing emotion, like outward emotion that is not like egotism, probably for the first time. Boo's heart is broken.
It's a little creepy.
Yeah, it is. It was weird, but yeah, it was very, very angry and
I can just
frustrated.
imagine, like, this being, like, Boo is, like, tears are streaming down his face, but he has just, like, stoic look.
he's got a mask
not
on.
even realizing that he's crying, but he is.
All right, so to fill in a couple small things there, so yeah, so like Boo and Torta, like Boo had a couple of dimensional door scrolls, that he used to go and try to make this deal with your mom, Mix.
Whoa, respect my magical prowess. It was Gate.
Oh, Gate. Sorry,
not
it was Gate.
Dimensional Door.
It was Gate. Sorry, wrong cross-dimensional access spell.
How dare you?
How dare I? But yeah, so the second one that he used after he got freed, he and Torta went through it with the intention of, ending up wherever Raynar's dad was at, so they could beat the shit out of him. And they ended up in some sort of underground place. And eventually, after kind of searching around a bit, they found that Raynar's dad was nearly dead and nailed to the wall, um, in a room down there with various other demonic paraphernalia, including stuff that were sigils of Asmodeus, which you guys had seen before a long time ago at the Growlhund Manor and such. And they kind of roughed him up a bit anyways, even though he was, very clearly on the brink of death. And his last, it was the principle of the matter. And yeah, and then the very last things he said before he died were to not trust the Castellanters. And then they found their way out of this underground place, and expecting that they were halfway across the world up in like Neverwinter, because that's where everybody assumed that Raynar's dad had been at. They came out and found that they were on the beach, like northwest of Waterdeep. Like they could see Waterdeep, like 10 miles south of them. A minor correction, Boo, you are not back to the party quite yet. So like last time we ended, you guys were on the beach, and you and Torta flipped the dice to decide, or flipped a coin, and it went south, which was towards Waterdeep. And then while we were off, Torta decided to go elsewhere. But at the moment, Boo, you are not quite back to Waterdeep. You're close, but you have not quite made it back. So that's where
Can I
that's.
just add something that adds so much humor to all those shenanigans.
Please do, Mix. Fire away.
The spell for breaking his bonds is written in my book of shadows. It's in my notes. I went and looked it up.
Been there the whole time.
That's what I gave up when I forgot the stuff.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's written in my book of shadows. I had the spell the whole time.
Oh my
Boo,
god.
how does that make you feel?
I guess it doesn't really change the outcome. I wouldn't have trusted anything coming from him anyway.
That's true.
Fair point. Fair point.
But still very amusing.
Right?
So yeah. So with that, so Jinku and Mix and Zai, you guys are chilling. Let me stop the intro stuff for now. There we go. You three are at Troll Skull, and you guys had, like once you got back and had all this business with the treasure and Lyra and all this other stuff going on. Like you guys are back, you got the treasure. You guys still had this little pocket dimension with all of it, and you were having Mert go about and like distribute the portions that needed to be distributed to Captain Zord and to the Castellanters. For
We had decided to go to Zord first, though.
Yep. Yeah. So I would say, yeah, like Mert's here. We'll say Mert's here now. He came through the door like his usual self does, with his cane and his cape and his wonderful sideburns. since you had called for him, and he was ready to go and do his trade um, with you all, with Zord, if you so desire. So,
Wait, one very important question before we go.
yes.
Have I picked up my hat yet? My new hat?
Yes. You have picked up your hat. You have a glorious hat now.
Okay. I'm ready to go.
All right. Perfect. All right, so you guys head out with Mert, down across the town. It's, probably midday-ish or so. Heading through the now, pretty familiar streets. You guys have crisscrossed this town quite a bit over the past few, months that you guys have been here dealing with things and running about. You get down to the dock ward, and the eye catcher is still down there, parked in its usual spot on one of the central docks. And you guys head up the ramp along with Mert. And a couple of the drow that are around, manning the ship and stuff see you. I mean, they kind of recognize you now since you had some little things that you'd done with Zord in the past. You see one of them kind of coming down the kind of gangplank from the main ship to greet you all, and he walks up and says, "More business with the captain today, eh?"
Yep, we just have to settle some business.
Certainly. Well, he is right inside. Follow me. And he kind of motions for you guys to follow him up into the now at least somewhat familiar ship. And he leads you down, kind of into the common room down below. And Zord's sitting there. He seems to be kind of uh, fiddling with some piece of his clothing, like working on it or something, or patching something up. And he looks up as you guys come in. He says, "Oh, yes, of course. How are things going for you all?"
Pretty well. You could say that we have been most fortunate.
"Ah, have you come to fulfill your end of the deal?"
Yes.
"Good, good. Well, here, come with me into my quarters, and we'll sort things out. Who's the friend that you brought with you here?" And Mert immediately kind of steps up and he says, "Mert, at your service, local moneylender. I'm here to make sure that everything is transacted in accordance with financial regulations of Waterdeep." And Zord kind of curtly bows in response, seems to be pleased by these proceedings, and kind of heads back towards his cabin just down the hall, waiting for you all to come along and follow him. Mert kind of follows in tow right behind him.
Okay. I'll just follow along.
Yep.
All right. So you all end up in Zord's cabin. Again, with the kind of elegant curtains that he has, kind of gracing the walls of this place, and the slight scent of this kind of perfume or incense in the air. You're not quite sure which. But he kind of pulls out a table away from the wall a little bit and sits down and says, "Well, have you put it all in some sort of account or something? Or, I mean, clearly you aren't carrying it around with you. It'd be quite a sum, and, well, probably a little dangerous to come wandering around the docks with sacks full of coin."
Well, we had our wizard figure out a system of safely transiting money for us.
"Oh,
I assume that Boo gave us a way to access the money, right?
I think it was with the, it was like bound to like some rings or something, right? With the Yeah, we like attuned the
Power.
yeah. It was like attuned to that, attuned to like a ring or a couple rings or something. But yeah, you guys have access to the little pocket dimension. You can just open it up right here in the wall if you want.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just use the ring to open up the pocket dimension and instruct Jinku to start getting the captain's share because I think we parsed everything out beforehand.
Yeah, you guys had kind of organized things beforehand, so it was all streamlined a bit. Yeah, like you open this this pocket dimension door on like the wall of his cabin here, and behind through here, I mean, this is like a decently sized but still small like room on the other side of this door, and it's just like piled full of you know thousands of pounds of cash that you guys got out of this vault. You kind of see like the sparkle in Zord's eyes as he's kind of staring through this, and like you see Mert kind of deftly kind of step over to the side of the door, kind of like blocking it a bit with his girth. Um, and he kind of smiles at Zord a bit and says, "Now, looks only. You'll get your portion." It seems that maybe this isn't the first time that Mert has had to deal with making sure people don't go after big piles of things they shouldn't be going for.
I mean, that is the reason we got Mert.
I'm gonna pull out a
Insurance.
I'm gonna pull out a handkerchief and
Yeah.
look like I'm wiping my face and palm an essence of ether into my hand, just in case I need to knock this dude out.
Just in case. All right. All right. So Jinku, you head over to the little kind of apportioned piece of his that you guys had set apart, and in pretty short order, managed to get it all out. As you're like bringing it out, like bringing the first like bit of it out, you kind of um, you're kind of looking around a bit to kind of figure out where to put it. And Zord kind of motions over to, like, he kind of thinks for a moment, and then he kind of pulls aside the bed that he has in here has like it's like a 4-poster bed with like kind of elaborate curtains, and he kind of eagerly almost jumps over to where the bed is and like kind of pulls aside one of the curtains and like ties it up around the post, and he's like, "Well, I guess for now you can just throw it all on the bed, and I'll have to figure out what to do with it all after that." And so you get everything all moved out, and in due time you're able to close the door to your guys' little vault portal, and Mert, you see him kind of reach into his bag, and he kind of pulls out this small kind of notepad of paper here and a quill, and he very quickly, you see him like writing down a few things on this little pad, and he kind of tears it off, and he kind of holds it out in your direction, Zaramix and Jinku, and kind of holds out the pen as well. Um, and he motions to you with these, and he's like, "Well, you sign on the bottom there, and we'll have Zord here sign on the bottom as well, and then we should be all shipshape."
Okay. Zaire takes it and signs.
Okay.
Yeah, Vix do the same, and he could be looking at Jinku wondering if she even knows how to sign her name.
That's rude. But probably, warranted. But yes, I can sign my name.
All right. And Mert takes the paper and hands it over to Zord, who signs his name as well in very kind of extravagant, curly, cursive letters. Like his signature is like the size of all three of yours combined. He just keeps doing little loop de loops on things, and It's very fanciful.
I would expect nothing less.
I mean, you're not
And
wrong.
I mean, have you seen his hat?
I know. Jinku is so in awe of him.
Jinku's just glad she's at least partially as cool now that she has her own hat.
Right? But she's also a little disappointed like he hasn't like said anything about it.
Yeah, it's true. It's very rude.
She keeps like puffing herself up, like making the feathers and stuff bounce.
Uh,
Like
so what?
clearing her throat, you know.
So, like,
Odyssey Senpai.
so, once everything is signed, Mert kind of takes this back and tucks this away into his satchel and kind of makes his way out of the room. Once Mert kind of leaves and kind of heads back into the common area, Zorg gets this very serious look on his face and kind of looks over at you three and says, "Just so you are all aware, don't think that the game that has been going on in Waterdeep these past months is over. There are many people who have an interest in what you have in there, and there are many people who have wrongs against you. Keep a watchful eye out. I would hate to see that all get stolen away before your very eyes. I've done my share of adventures and would hate to see the prize snatched from your hands at the last moment. Be cautious."
Mix is gonna look at him and be like, okay, but if we need to say get out of Waterdeep in a hurry, what would it cost us to book passage to say Tropical Island Nation?
He kind of laughs a little bit at this and says, "Well, I think I can fairly say that you've probably covered for passage and then some, if it comes to that. But yeah, I have many contacts in the area, and well, things there are rumblings. So stay watchful."
What kind of rumblings have you heard?
Well, it's hard to say specifics. There hasn't really been much in that particular way, but there's been. I mean, I have been watching the goings on in Waterdeep since I arrived some time ago, and for a time had a direct interest in them myself, as you're well aware, since our chance encounter in the lairs of Xanathar. But as you are all well aware, there are many parties at play here, and all of them were vying for the same goal, which you have managed to claim, and some of them may not be happy that you have done so. Not me, though. I am perfectly fine with how our arrangement went down.
Well, I hope as well that we can avoid too much grief now that we've found this treasure and, well, that we can count on your advice in the future as well.
Certainly, certainly. And he kind of doffs his hat at you all. And as he puts his hat back on, he kind of smiles wryly in your direction, Jinku, and he says, "Imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery, after all."
She so happy she didn't speak. She's so happy.
All right. So with that, with your business concluded here, you guys kind of make your way back down the eye catcher onto the docks, and uh, along with Mert, heading up towards the Castellanter mansion for the other half of your fulfilling your ends of the bargain.
Yep.
So while all this is going on, and you guys are kind of traveling up that way, Boo, you've been making your way down the beaches northwest of Waterdeep ever since you got out that cave, and you and Torta had an emotional parting of ways. And like you're fairly close at this point. You're probably still a good mile or two from the walls. Like you've managed to kind of come up off the beach because it's getting to the point where you're getting close to like where the mud flats are right to the west of Waterdeep start, and that just kind of gets difficult to walk through. But you've kind of managed to find your way back up to the kind of main northern road that comes down, all the way from the northern parts of the Sword Coast, and connects all the way down right through the northern gate of Waterdeep. And so you're just kind of happily strolling along here, or maybe not so happily, whatever feelings it is you are having right now, with what's going on.
Feelings are valid.
Your
bitch.
feelings are valid.
You
What
flattered.
what valid feelings are you having over there out on the lonesome road?
Deep grief.
Boo's crying, and anything like bugs or like lizards or any like creature, anything that is smaller than him that he has encountered along the way has died. or probably no better not died, is dying. So
Is
like if he saw bugs, he'd probably use like prestidigitation to burn their wings off and then leave them on the ground. Or
Jesus.
like lizards like pop their tails off. 'Cause, like Boo's very angry right now, so he's acting out in only the way a magical child could.
Very angry and a little bit like a sociopath. Got it.
Yeah.
sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So Boo's out there making his way downtown, walking fast, or maybe not.
Oh, I'm so glad that you actually said that because that's all I can think of.
I'm glad I could oblige. So the rest of you guys make it to the Castellanter Villa, and you're greeted by Willifort, the butler, at the gates. Um, he sees you all coming. You guys have been there plenty of times before, and he happily shows you inside. Oop, where's the Castellanter Villa? There it is. All right. So he happily shows you inside the gates here, into the kind of garden and the exterior area beyond. And as he's kind of walking along amongst the trees up the kind of main path of the villa here with you all, this is some business with Master Castellanter today.
Yep. Just have to revisit some conversations we've had with them before.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm certainly he'll be most pleased. And he, lets you in the front door of the place and kind of zips off upstairs to go find his lord and ladyship. And they shortly come down afterwards, Victoro and Amalia, together, dressed in their typical kind of high-end, high society type clothing. And Victoro looks uh, quite pleased. It seems that Willifort has kind of informed him that you were here to speak on some of the matters that you were doing before. And he kind of comes towards you with his arms outstretched, and he says, "Well, It sounds like you have some good news.
Yes, we do. We are here to fulfill our end of the deal that we've made.
Yes, wonderful. Well, how about we go to the drawing room back here, and we can take a seat and work all of this out. I see you brought Mert with you, and Mert kind of nods, and he's familiar with all of the kind of high society people of Waterdeep. He says, "Pleasure to do business with you, Lord Castellanter, sir. We'll get this all right and squared away, and whatever business you had with these fine folks will all be in accordance with the paperwork that Waterdeep needs." And he comes along after Victoria and Amalia into the back, into the drawing room, to the kind of northeast part of the main house. I assume you guys all come along?
Yep.
Okie doke. All right, so you all end up in the drawing room, and Mert's kind of getting things ready with his various bits of paperwork. Do you guys just chuck open the door like you did before?
I mean, yeah, we're basically just following Lord Castle Lantern.
All right. So you pop open your little vault dimension here.
I don't really like the fact that you're asking us so many questions. It makes me anxious.
So you pop open the vault here, and I assume Jinku, you start taking things out like before.
Yeah, probably if somebody told me to.
All right. You got the big guns
And the big hat.
and the big hat. We can't forget the big hat. So you start kind of bringing out
Don't you
the
ever forget that.
you start bringing out
He
the
has
appropriate
the
portion.
biggest hat.
It's huge, huge.
It's not as big as Zord's, but
Close enough.
I would think it would have to be bigger than Zord's if it's for you. Your head is bigger than his.
I guess that's true. It would be bigger than
Size,
his just by
maybe,
default.
But in presentation, I had to dial it back a little bit.
Oh, I see.
I have
That's
respect
understandable.
For him. I respect him. I can't outdo him.
Fair, fair. All right. So you get all of the portioned piece for them out. Um, as this is going on, and like Mert's getting things ready for signing of paperwork stuff. Like you can see that Amalia is she's sitting here in one of these chairs. She almost seems like on the verge of tears. Knowing that finally all of this, like all of this business with their kids will finally be over. They'll be able to break out of this kind of cursed deal that they've been stuck in. And Victoria too, like not quite to the extent of like Amalia's, but you can kind of see in the light in here, his eyes are kind of watery. Seeing that this has finally come true fruition. And Mert finishes up what he's got to do with the paperwork and kind of hands it over to you three to sign your portion.
Yeah, I'll take it and do like I did before.
All right.
And then go back to petting my trestle.
All right. All right, so you guys all sign, and he hands it over to Victoria and Amalia, who sign as well, in kind of this kind of fine, stately cursive. And Mert kind of packs things up, puts stuff back in his bag, and kind of dusts his hands a bit and says, "Well, it seems that our business is all concluded here." And, Victoria kind of stands up, and he's like, wait, before you all go, we would like, in honor of this great service that you have done for us and for our children, we'd like to invite you all to a feast. We'll throw one tonight, and you all can come. Mert, you're welcome to come. If there's anyone else that you know that you wish to come along, feel free to bring them. We are grateful to all of you for the assistance that you've given us over these past few months. Protecting our children from multiple threats that you have gone and dealt with for us. So it's the least we can do at this point, as have an extravagant dinner at our expense.
Zyara will just look at Mix and Jinku for input.
Well, you know how Jinku feels about free food.
Especially free, real good food.
Mm-hmm.
All Mix can think is that he's going to have to go to all sorts of shops to make sure he has enough poisons to knock out people and maybe knock out an entire room because he doesn't trust anybody right now.
I mean, hopefully he at least trusts Zyara and Jinku.
Oh, no, he trusts
Every
Yuki.
event we go to, he has to make sure that he's got enough. Because
I mean, that's fair. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's pretty par for the course for Mix, is to have a pocket full of knock out everybody in the room gas.
I got a pocket full of ether.
And I have that other one that I
I
can
love it.
feed somebody flameless anus that I can slip in somebody's drink.
Well, we
like
never got to
chaos.
use that.
That's true. You do still have that one.
I think I spent like 500 or 1,000 gold on that, so I do want to use it.
You know
That was
what?
like a
Just
plan,
keep
like,
that
key
keep
for
that
us.
one. Keep that one literally in your pocket for just in case. We might need entertainment.
Vix is just kind of shrug and nod his head once at you. You know Jinku wants to eat, so answer him, and we we'll talk about plans later.
All right. So Victoro uh, is happy to hear of your interest in this, and he immediately kind of calls for Willifort, and you can hear them begin discussing getting food arranged and things set up for this shindig here. And afterwards, Willifort kind of motions for you all and Mert and to head out of the villa and back out onto the streets of Waterdeep to return later that evening. So, is there anything you guys want to do before anything you want to grab or prepare for, get dolled up for?
Well, I mean, Jinku already has her hat.
What else could I possibly need?
And I have like the most expensive clothes imaginable.
Me and Mix already.
That's true. That's true. You already got some real sick robes, so.
I mean, my robes probably cost more than most of these people's houses.
Yeah, that is pretty expensive piece of clothing you got on. That is true.
Zyara still has nice dresses.
Oh yeah, you look great.
I might.
She has to go in disguise sometimes. So she has nice dresses.
Thinking of his robes, Mix is going to look at Zyara and Jinku and goes, "Do you think somebody could transmute this into red for me? I think this would look intimidating in red."
It would certainly look more intimidating.
I have zero interest in this. I shall walk away.
All right. So you guys head back to Troll Skull, or if you're getting some various reagents and things, um, whatever you got to do to prepare for this little shindig tonight. Kind of in the mid evening, as it's like getting pretty close to where this is like probably like an hour or an hour and a half later. Boo, you like you have finally reached the north gates of Waterdeep, and gotten in. You know, the sun is like, it's not down, but it's in that kind of like dusk time period of light, and so the sunset's kind of throwing these kind of wide shadows across the outside of Waterdeep. And then, of course, once you're inside the walls, you know, the long shadows of the houses down the streets. You're still a decent way across town from Troll Skull, from where the North Gate's at. Um, but you're getting there. You're getting there. Still prestidigitating bugs.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right.
Okay, feelings don't just go away.
And like, did I come to the gates yet?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So like, if I saw anybody looking at me, it'd be like, "What are you looking at, stupid dumb face?"
Nice, nice.
Just like boogers and stuff running out of my mask.
The image of that is just,
Gross?
oh God. Oh jeez.
Boo and Torto were gonna take over the world together. Now his heart's broken.
It's okay. You can always meet up later.
They were the bestest of bros.
When you're the best of friends.
He probably kicks a beggar if he sees one.
Jesus.
Boo is in a mood right now. You guys, get yourselves all put together for this shindig. Um, and not long before kind of the appointed hour that you guys will be heading over there, um, Mert comes by, and he's still somewhat in his usual attire, but it's clearly the like a slightly fancier version of it. The kind of long cape that he usually wears on his back has, you almost see kind of a sparkle to it. Um, and the jacket that he usually wears is a little finer, kind of higher class materials, less adventuring pockets. Uh, but he comes along and brings along with him uh, Raynarm as well. Um, joins along with you all, um, having heard the news from Mert about all of this. Um, and the five of you head over to the Castellanter Villa. So as you arrive at the Castellanter Villa, um, as you guys are coming up to it, you're kind of surprised to hear uh, quite a bit of like hustle and bustle outside the banquet going on. And as you guys come up to the gates, like the gates are open, and you can see in the yard beyond, there's a number of tables that have been set up in here, and there's quite a few people that are already here, and already seem to be kind of cajoling and eating, and having a good time of it. Like there's some music going on. You see kind of a small group of musicians uh, out in the yard here, uh, playing some kind of jaunty tunes. Like most of the people that are here out in the yard seem to be kind of just regular old Waterdavians. Um, it almost seems like the Castlanters just kind of opened their gates to the neighborhood, um, to let everyone in on the celebrations. So as you kind of come in, those that are posted at the gates, they recognize you and kind of lead you along um, towards the main building, since you're more of the guests of honor than just the regular people that are just here for ambience and free food. Though Jinko might be here for the free food, but that's just bonus.
I have a really important question though.
Yeah.
Looking around, do I see any cowboys out in the yard?
No, you do not see any catboys out in the yard. I mean, I guess maybe there might be a few tabaxis, but that's probably the
I
closest
said
thing.
cowboys.
Oh,
I
I
mean
don't know what you have in
cowboys.
your mind. I mean, there's nothing wrong with cat boys. Don't get me wrong, but come on, man. Focus here.
Wow.
there are no cowboys in the yard. That was inevitable. I knew that was coming. So there are no cowboys out in the yard.
Oh, well, then we have to leave this party right now.
I only like being in the yard where there are cowboys getting ever so hard.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
Ugh.
You didn't see that coming.
No, I saw that coming a mile away, and I was hoping you wouldn't, but here we
Is
are.
that why you changed it to cat boys?
Well, no, that I actually heard catboys. I figured that she was doing that, but with catboys instead of cowboys.
No.
All right. Well, anyways,
I love you.
we got a yard. It's full of regular people having a good time.
The rabble.
The rabble, the water deviants, the good regular ass working man and women, men and women of Waterdeep, are here in celebration. They may not know what for, but they're here to have a good time, and they're glad that they can come. So, you guys get led into kind of the main house, like you've been before, and as you come in here, like you can see that they've managed to kind of doll things up in the house a bit too. There's like a couple of really nice banners with the Castellanter house crest on them that have been kind of draped over some of the banisters of the second floor. There's kind of some finer music inside as well. It's a little quieter in here just because you're kind of away from the kind of the raucous regular folks crowd outside. You see a few other kind of nobles around, people in kind of high society fashion, and like the scent in the air. There's like this sweet scent of both fine food and like incenses, and of course the perfumes and colognes of the higher society of Waterdeep. But as you come in, you can see that Victoria and Amalia are here. They're kind of up on a little raised platform here, kind of greeting guests as they come in, shaking hands. And they see that you've all arrived, and they're like, "Yes, welcome, welcome, our guests of honor. Please feel free to make your way upstairs. The main banquet table awaits us." And he kind of motions his arms toward there's a kind of a grand staircase heading up to the second floor, kind of within this large ornate entryway.
As we're walking up the stairs, Mix is just going to pull his dress from down off of his shoulders and start combing it with his golden stylized dragon comb. Looking around like not a care in the world.
Nice. Very fanciful. All right, so you head upstairs. Let me get you the second floor here. All right, so the second floor, they have kind of a grand.
This looks black to me.
Yeah, it's black. Can't see anything.
Oh, here, I bet the lighting's fucky. 1 second. Enable. Disable light.
Okay.
All right. That should be good now.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So, you all, the kind of large room on like the southern end of this map here, is the large kind of ballroom of sorts of this villa. It's got these high vaulted ceilings. All around the edges are these kind of ornate tapestries and curtains that are around these very tall windows. The banquet table is set up kind of along, like starting from like the western end. There's that little kind of jut with the windows on the sides, and the banquet table kind of extends, quite a ways across the room actually, and it's already kind of laid out with quite a few fine looking dishes, and there's kind of waiters and waitresses that are still bringing in more and laying them in various open spaces around the table. Um, but you all kind of get motioned to some seats that are kind of right up towards the head of the table, kind of right to the western end, close to the little three-sided kind of window area. Boo, while this is happening, you manage to make it back to Troll Skull and find that the rest of your group isn't there. It is still like Troll Skull's still open though. Like you have your regular folks that work for you. The chef and the various other people. Like they're still down here manning it like it's just another night. And you got a few customers in here. But you head inside, Boo, and you check around upstairs a bit, and you can't seem to find your compatriots anywhere around.
Let's see the range on this spell here. Ooh. Would she? Somebody would. I think Sayara usually carries one of the message stones, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she does.
One of them is usually with me, and then the other one kind of rotates between you guys.
I think Torta had it, but I'm sure certainly would have given it to me. I probably honestly would have demanded it back from him, as well as like anything I had ever given him.
That seems about right.
The second message stone is very context specific and happens to show up wherever it's needed in context.
It really does. It's magical that way.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's funny how that works.
I'll grab that and I'll like say into it. I'll be like, Sayara.
I'm guessing Zyra at current is kind of like in a crowd.
And you guys are you're still you haven't really like sat down yet, just because things aren't all quite in place. But you guys are hanging around that end of the table there, chatting with some people. Ranar's coming up to you all, and he's kind of excitedly talking to you, and he's like, I heard from Mert that you did it. You found it. Is that right? Uh-oh. Did we lose?
Yeah, it looks like we lost Boo and Jinku.
Oh no. Okay, we'll give him a second to get back. Are you guys back? I see you're still in the Discord.
Oh, I'm still on Discord, but
Oh, I see Quick reconnected, so I'm guessing he's probably getting the other one fixed.
They're probably just trying to get everything back up.
I see Jinku's back.
Sorry about that.
That's alright.
Well, when you both dropped, I figured it was internet related.
I dropped right after I messaged Sayara, or I tried to.
Yeah, so Zyra is going to hear her name and kind of be like, because she thinks she recognizes Boo's voice, but knows that he's not there and doesn't realize that he has the other stone. So she'll like look around and not see anyone and kind of just like excuse herself to go to like a private corner.
Okay.
And like get the stone out of her bag and be like, Boo?
Torta abandoned us. He said he couldn't live with Mix anymore.
To be fair, you also abandoned us.
Listen, that's neither here nor there. Where are you?
We're at the castle lanterns. They're holding a giant feast.
Listen, I talked to Raynor's father. Don't trust the castle lanterns. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Why not?
Well, Raynor's father said it, so I'm not entirely trustworthy of that, but I mean, these people did sacrifice their children to demons, so
Well, clearly, but they gave us the impression that they recognized that was a mistake.
just be careful.
Okay, I will keep my eye out for anything strange until you get here.
You trust them as much as you trust me, Sayara, okay?
With a grain of salt, then?
With a cartload of salt, Sayara. A cartload.
Alright, you should be able to get in easily. The gates are wide open.
Boo, like, forgets to hang up and puts it in his pocket and, like, begins crying again and, like, turns to make his trek to the castle lanterns.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think the message stones really have a hang up function. They just kind of are.
It's still funny to think about.
It is. It is so funny to think about. All right. So, the rest of you are at the party. So yeah. So Raynar was kind of talking to you all over here in this corner, and he's like, "So you did it then? You found, you found what my father hid?
Weren't you there, dude?
Oh wait,
Yeah,
duh, he was there. What am I talking about? Wow. Okay, brain fart. What am I? God, wow. That was a big stupid.
Wow, somebody was dumber than Jinku.
right?
Yeah, he was there. Never mind. He is well aware that you found
I
it
mean,
because he came
did,
along.
he did, like,
You couldn't
he
have
had a
opened the
very
damn door
quick
without him.
moment.
I mean, he had that
He
whole,
had
like,
an extended
emotional
moment.
turmoil.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
was like, "Oh my god, my cat did love me," and then
Wow.
he did like stand in that for a long time. So
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Wow. How did? it, it's been a week.
Didn't he get a portion of the treasure too?
No, he didn't ask for anything.
he didn't
Oh.
ask, so he don't get any.
Nigga's like, sorry, ship sailed. It's all gone. Whoop.
It's already been divvied out. It's done.
Spend it on this hat. It's all gone.
Yep.
It was really expensive.
I actually didn't use any of this money for that hat, but he doesn't need
Well,
to know
you
that.
see, Jinku got the hats, but then she had to get, like, a couple backup hats.
And I have all those cats and
They needed a hat.
Yep.
oh, hats for my cats. They were all custom. All custom.
Oh god, I've started something.
Oh no.
Yep, you sure did.
With that faux pas, I'm just gonna turn to Chico and I'll be like, I've been thinking, what would you like to buy that old bar on Troll Skull Alley? Maybe turn it into a Tressum breeding facility? You know, cute cats with wings?
Jinku's eyes just get really big and excited. cats with wings. That makes her so happy.
Cats with wings in hats.
Even better.
Oh God.
Those things would sell so fast.
You
We
can't
would be
back
rich.
out of this
We'd be
now.
rich.
I
You
mean,
need to look
we
up the
are
game
rich.
No Place Like Home. It's like a farming. Got a story behind it and a farming sim type thing, but all the farm animals desire hats.
Oh my god.
That's excellent. All right. So, Raynar suddenly
Distracted.
Raynar suddenly remembers that he was there all along. It's been a bit of a week for him too. Uh, he's like, "Oh right, of course, right, of course, of course." Um, but yeah, he is happy that all of this seems to be finally coming to an end. Shortly afterwards, you see Victoria and Amalia come up the kind of main staircase here, and they kind of make their way towards the head of the table down here at your end, and kind of motion for everybody to come and take a seat. And you all and Mert and Raynar and various other high class people, most of which you don't recognize at all, um, all take their seats around this table, and you guys start
I
digging
forget.
in. Yeah.
So I know Mix. You know, because I'm just trying to think of what Zyra is going to do with the information that Boo sent her. Because I don't think Jinku's going to really care at this point. She's very food focused.
Yeah,
Has pretty much forgotten how we know these people.
Jink is probably halfway into a chicken.
But I think after Zyara, like before they would have asked people to start sit down, Zyra would have gone back out to Mix and kind of pulled him aside and whispered to him, um, Boo just contacted me via the sending stones. They spoke with Raynar's father and were told not to trust the castle lanterns. You might want to be on guard. I don't know why, but he was concerned enough to at least come back to Waterdeep and tell us.
Mix will immediately mind link with her and ask straight in her brain, which poison do you want? And I'll tell you which pocket to take it out of.
One that won't kill them but will make them suffer.
Most of them put them to sleep. Drill poison will work. Pocket number 3 on the left side. Let's start walking through the table and you can just take it out.
Okay, so Zyara and Mix are on guard at least, and equipped with many poisons.
So it's a normal day.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically I could kill this whole room if I wanted to.
Do you at least wait till after dinner?
See, and this is why Zyara told Mix, because he came prepared.
All right.
If
So
you
you
were
all.
to-
Oh, go ahead, Mix.
Sorry, there's a delay on my internet right now.
That's fine.
If you were to blow Mix up, it would probably be the equivalent of like setting off, what do they call those nasty missiles that have chemical? Oh, a chemical bomb. Probably kill an entire city block.
Whew.
Well, you
Spicy.
may have to.
I mean, hopefully not. There's a whole bunch of regular ass people outside.
Yeah, they're outside.
We don't know that those are regular people.
But I mean, it's part of a block. If it's a whole block, that's still part of the block. I don't think a massive chemical explosion cares that there is a wall.
Look, we didn't ask for your we're
I'm
at
just
the
throwing
we're
trash
at the
at 'em.
end
Kill
of a campaign. If we're gonna become murder hobos, now is the time.
We're gonna accidentally blow ourselves all up in a giant chemical explosion. Game over.
presents.
And Boo will be like halfway, halfway to the cast lanterns and just see like a giant green mushroom cloud. And
Come on, you know that Boo would be like, nice.
all right. So you all sit down, and Victoro stands up and kind of clinks on a glass for a moment, and everybody kind of falls silent, and he kind of looks out over the crowd here. Says, "Friends, neighbors, colleagues, we're so glad to have you here tonight for the celebration of life and, well, of our children and their lives and the freedom that they will now have thanks to our wonderful friends here." And he kind of extends a hand to the side of the table where you all are sitting and kind of starts a round of applause as he looks at you all. And everybody else at the table, kind of joins in afterwards, as is customary. And says, "It has been a long road getting here, and full of many sorrows and hardships. But at last, we are finally at the end of it all, and well, we can finally rest easy, knowing that our children are safe at last." And he kind of raises both of his arms and says, "Please, all of you, welcome and feast. Thank you." And he sits back down next to Amalia, and you can see him kind of like place his hand on her hand, and they're kind of lovingly holding each other's hands there and looking at each other. And everybody at the table is kind of reaching at the various platters and things, and getting their plates full of all sorts of stuff. So, Boo, you are kind of making your way across town, and manage to like you're a couple blocks away from the cast lanterns, and you start noticing like there's quite a few, like you start noticing people around, like, and people like talking to each other, and then after they talk to each other, kind of heading off in the direction that you're going. And like it almost seems like a lot of the area is almost kind of emptying itself uh, in the direction of the cast lanterns. Like people are just kind of passing some sort of word along to each other, and then kind of heading off. Like you see, some some people that are like kind of manning a little shop by the side of the road, and somebody kind of walks past them, and you kind of hear as you're walking past, they're like, "There's a massive free feast at the Castle Hunter Villa, and the doors are open for everyone. Come on, come on!" And you see some of these people kind of pack up their things and tuck some things away in crates and kind of hurry off down the road.
Okay. I just keep trucking.
Just keep trucking. All right.
Yeah, like I don't know how much he would have noticed that. Like again, he's real caught up in his own like thoughts.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. All right. I think, so with where we are at the moment, this would probably be a good spot to take our usual little halfway point break, just to make it less awkward in another spot. Uh, Wait, really, Mix? 8,200 gold of poison in your pockets? Holy shit.
Amazing.
I have 6 flasks of assassin blood with 6 doses each in each flask, so that's 36 doses.
Holy fuck.
I have Dro Poison, Essence of Ether, and Flameless Anus. 8,200 gold worth of poison.
Jesus Christ. Wow. Okay. All right. So as you know, Boo's trucking his last little way over here, and you guys are tucking into some good grub, especially Jinku. We're gonna take our quick little 10-minute break here, and come back at 8:28 to finish up what's going on here. So we'll be back in a moment. All right. Okay, here we go. That's on. That's on. Okay, we're back. Sweet. All right. So, you guys are all tucking into your food upstairs, having a decent time of it. The stuff tastes great. You know, the meats are some of the most succulent that you've probably ever tasted, or at least in quite a while. Like this is the high end primo stuff. Everything is cooked to perfection, and the standards of high class cuisine in Waterdeep. This is an experience, a culinary experience indeed. Boom. You finally make it to the Castellanter Villa, and just as you heard, the front gates, they're open. You don't seem to see uh, anybody like standing guard down at the gates at this point. And the yard in front of you here is just like chock full of all these people. All these just kind of regular Waterdavian folk, and you see these tables set up everywhere that are being voraciously eaten from. A lot of stuff's already fairly well picked over. I mean, you see some people, there's a few people that you see that are like grabbing a few things and then like leaving, because like this is, they don't get many opportunities like this. There's quite a few here. There's quite a few people here that, even among just like the regular Waterdavian folks, there's quite a few just of like the really kind of the poorer side of the poorer class of folks in Waterdeep are here as well. I mean, word seems to have spread fast, and many have come from around the kind of neighborhood area here to try to get what they can that's being offered up for free. Uh, the three of you that are up in the ballroom, roll perception checks for me.
Wow, we're just doing great.
Yeah. All right. So, Boo, as you're kind of, coming in to here, um, actually, Boo, roll me a quick perception check here too.
How is I the least informed person here and I have the highest perception check?
Great mysteries.
Yeah. All right. So, Boo, you kind of continue kind of making your way like through the crowd here. Like there's what are your thoughts, Boo, as you're like you come across this like villa garden full of regular people. They're everywhere. You're trying to get through them. What are you thinking?
Well, based on Boo's current mood and his recently gathered information, he's prepared himself for another family cleansing. So he's just kind of like grumping his way inside now and like mentally partitioning tonight off.
Okay. All right. So while like you're about halfway across the yard here, Boo, when suddenly from among the kind of crowd of people, you're not sure from where. It's kind of hard to tell with all the hubbub. Uh, you hear what sounds like um, the screams of someone. Like you hear what sounds like kind of fevered choking, and then a guy screaming, and like Jinku up in the ballroom, you like very faintly think you hear something, but you aren't quite sure. Like you can't pick out like what it is, but you hear like a noise from kind of like behind out the window, but it doesn't really like land as like anything in particular. You just like hear some noise louder than what you expected. And
I suppose I'd probably try and look around and figure out what's going on.
all right, so Boo, you kind of start kind of looking around more alertly, trying to see what's happening. The three of you up in the ballroom, roll another perception check for me.
God damn it, that was the wrong one. Are you sure you can't just take that one for my perception?
No, roll another perception.
I just have one question: are the castle lanterns eating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah!
Let's-
I rolled the same one!
Nice. Nicely done. All right.
Take
Yeah,
that.
the cat this whole time, like the castle, everybody in here, they've all been eating, same as everyone else up here. But you, so Zara, like Jinku, like the previous time you thought you heard something, you just kind of brushed it off, and we're like, oh, okay, it's just noises outside. That time, you very distinctly heard that that was a scream, and Zara, you heard it too. You hear this kind of distant screaming, which seems to be coming from kind of outside the windows. Boo, like you're down here, and you know, like that guy screamed, that woman screamed, and suddenly you almost feel like you are surrounded by screams, Boo, and people all over this villa yard are clutching their throats. They're coughing up blood. You see one of them like scream out, "Poison! It's been poisoned!" and like smacks like a plate of food out of like a child's hand and like starts like running out towards the gates. And like all around you, these people are like they're choking, they're dying, they're falling over on the ground. And those of you up in the ballroom, what are you doing up there?
Well, I mean, when Zaira hears the scream, she's going to, like, immediately elbow Mix and then use the sending stone to contact Boo because he told her that he was on his way and just be like, Boo, are you outside by any chance? I heard screams.
Yes, but it wasn't me this time. I think they're poisoning the guests.
No one in here seems poisoned, and the castle lanterns are eating. Were they just trying to poison the poor folk?
Yeah, they tend to make good fodder for rituals like this. So I would expect that these beings that call themselves the Castle Lanterns are doing some sort of evil
Well,
sacrifice of many civilians or something.
Boo, this isn't something that I ever wanted to say to you, and so I hope you cherish it. But Boo, you were right.
Who kind of shudders a little bit as he says, I know. Be safe. I'm trying to find you. Where are you guys?
We're upstairs in the main dining hall.
So, Jinku, like what are you doing and all this? Like, cause you very you especially out of the three of you, like very distinctly heard screaming
Multiple times.
multiple times.
Yes.
still going on. Actually, like there are still people screaming and dying. Boo! Like this yard around you is just filling up with dead bodies.
I assume I probably am sitting next to Zyara, so I probably heard her conversation with Boo.
No, it's telepathic.
Ah, crap. Okay. Well, I will turn to Zyara and be like, Zyara, did you hear that?
I did.
What do we do?
When Jinku says that, I'm gonna mind link the three of us. Be like, what is going on? Why are you two acting strange?
We both heard screaming, Boo's outside, and apparently all of the water deviants who were eating the food out there are dying. He thinks it's been poisoned. He's suspecting that what Raynar's father said was true, and perhaps the castle lanterns are using the poor folk for sacrifice.
Well, do we stop them, or do we not make a scene? What do we do?
There's not much we can do. All we can do is wait for the city guards. Unless they've been bribed.
Well, I think we have to do something.
Mix is just gonna sigh, and he's going to pull a gold amulet out of his pocket, wrap it around his Tressum's neck.
Think of it this way, if we don't do anything, there won't be anyone to drink at Troll Skull.
Oh shit!
And I tell you to hold your breath.
Jinx will tuck her trunk in her pocket.
Just wait until I tell you.
Brings a scarf out of her bag.
I'm going to give my entire stockpile of essence of ether to my Tressum.
Oh shit! This is gonna be epic.
Oh my god!
And have her just start flying around the room, dropping vials.
I love it.
Oh my god!
So
Oh,
My flying hat.
oh, this is great. Okay, so your Tressum like takes off from next to you here, Mix, and starts flying around the room, dropping vials everywhere, and like all of a sudden like all of the people in here like they're like jumping out of their chairs. They're like kind of screaming in shock, and some of them are kind of passing out quickly thereafter from the ether kind of spreading around the room. Um, do the three of you, are you guys like leaving in the process of this? There are a couple like doors nearby, like some of these kind of large windows that are.
How close is Mert and Raynar to me?
You guys they're like kind of sitting right next to you guys.
Okay, so Zyara's going to grab both of them and
I got
haul
them.
their
I got them.
ass. Okay, we're gonna haul their asses out of the room.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna run over and catch my Tressum as soon as it passes out.
okay, so in terms of easy exits from where you guys are at, there's literally a door, like these large like tall windows that are like around this like three-sided part of the ballroom that you guys are in. Um, Literally right behind you to the north is a door that opens out onto. There's kind of a exterior balcony deck of sorts around the second floor of the house, like 10 feet behind you guys.
Perfect.
Okay, so Zyra and Jinku are getting Mert and Raynar very quickly out of the room, and Zyra's going to kind of rushedly tell them both, there's something nefarious going on. You two need to get out of here and go to safety immediately.
Oh, they're unconscious. I'll be out in a second.
So, like as you guys are like busting out of this northern like door onto this balcony here with Mert and Raynar, and like you're mid sentence like explaining that there's something bad happening, and like as you guys bust outside, like the screaming going on in the yard below is much louder and you see down below you, the whole like yard is just like covered in bodies of kind of regular old water Davians everywhere, and you see kind of Boo standing among them all. Um, Perhaps maybe a little awkwardly at this moment, but um,
He's standing there with the boombox, just like
playing 80s tunes and holding up the boombox there. Yeah, no.
damn.
Damn.
That would have been so cool.
But yeah, like you guys bust out and like like Mert and Raynar both kind of like clap their hands over their mouths in shock, um, seeing this gruesome display. Like there's probably at least like a couple hundred people just strewn all over the lawn here. You see like some are still choking, and you see some many are in the process of fleeing, trying to get away. You see some that are like staggering out of the gate, like in the middle of choking, and you see some bodies kind of going out into the street outside of the villa. And you guys are like standing here just in like I mean like what are y'all feeling?
Zyara is horrified.
Second that.
Like, she has been the poor person that was desperate enough to go wherever the free food was, and like she very clearly has a lot of hatred for the Castle Lanterns right now because they appear to have taken advantage of that.
I'm gonna just. You all know Mix is a little callous. He's just be rubbing his chin. He goes, I wonder what poison they used and if we can help them.
That's fair. That's a fair line coming from Mix there. So as you guys are kind of standing on this balcony here, you hear um, kind of like a rush of footsteps and like some doors opening down on like the first floor below, and you see Victorio and Amalia come out. Like they seems like they've ran down the stairs inside the manor, and I've come out the front doors there and see like the yard before them. And Amalia gasps, and Victorio kind of looks over the yard and sees you, Boo, standing in the middle of it all, and you hear him shout, "You! What have you done?"
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my trusty blow dart gun and shoot him in the back.
Yay.
As you fire this in his direction there, let's see, 21. So you roll this in his direction here, and you see Victoria reach inside of his kind of cloak of sorts that he has on, and he pulls out what looks to be like some sort of wand of some kind, and deflects this shot, and you hear it like kind of bounce off the wall of the manor here, and he kind of quickly turns up and sees you all up there on the balcony, and says, he's seen Boo down there, and he sees all of you up there, and he says, all of you, you've double crossed us. What is this?
We've double crossed you? It's your food that's killed all these people.
Why the nerve! You were eating of the own food yourself, and you were fine.
Then how do you explain that all these
mean, have you seen the lot of people that have come in here? Who knows what they could have brought to cast us in a bad light?
I'm gonna add Boo to my mental link and be like, yeah. Oh, and Mert and Reynard too. How come I don't believe them?
It seems suspicious for sure. Although I have to wonder if his shock is sincere, then someone within his staff would be to blame. How do we know it's not the butler or one of the people who are privy to the goings on of their deals with demons?
Ah, true. I'll I'll go wake up one of these people. I mean the dead ones. I'll be back. I'm gonna go to the first dead person. Man, this is a costly one. And cast Revivify. Or
Uh,
the most recently deceased, because it has to be in the last minute.
okay.
And I'll cast Revivify on them and wait for them to come to.
All right. So while like you go over there and like find one of the people who had just like barely finished, kind of choking out and keeling over on the ground, um, and cast Revivify on them and bring them back. They are kind of sitting there on the ground, looking a little dazed. Um, while this is going, like while you're going over and doing this, Victoria and Amalia they disappear back inside the house.
I'll look at the person I just woke up and be like, tell me exactly what you ate and drank out here.
And the person you woke up kind of groggily looks around for a moment and says, I, I mean, a bit of everything, really. It was all for the taking. My gods, what has happened here?
That's exactly what we're trying to find out.
Boo, what are you doing in all this?
Angry, I wasn't able to collect whatever energy this created. I'll tell you what, but I'll try and get close to the group as soon as I can.
I mean, you had all of those bugs you killed, right?
Listen,
And lizards.
they weren't enough. Nothing will ever be enough to ease my broken heart.
I'm sorry.
Do you need a hug or some pocket peanuts?
You might need to punch someone in the face.
But yeah, I'll get up with the group and I guess we're looking to try and figure out what the fuck's going on.
Yep.
I'll walk away from this person after I tell them to go home. Kind of opposite of the group from Boo because I don't trust them anymore at all. And look back in the room. What portion of the guests did I manage to knock out? And servants in the room.
The ones upstairs.
Oh yeah.
Um, so if you're heading back upstairs, like you look in there and like as far as you can tell, like everybody that was in there is currently zonked out on the ground from your ether.
Nick's just gonna have the biggest smile on his face. thinking in his head, and they wonder why I always carry this much with me. He's gonna find the nearest servant. Um, the woman, he's gonna shake her very gently awake.
All right. So you kind of wake up a nearby servant here, um, and you kind of shake them out of their kind of unconscious stupor here. Kind of takes them a moment to come to, but they see you here and they're like, "Wait, what happened? What's going on?" Oop, did we lose Baza?
Looks like.
Oh heck.
I can't talk to dead people in this place. Sorry.
Well, this one wasn't dead. This one was knocked out by ether.
Yeah, it makes ether bombed the upstairs ballroom.
Well,
Well, since Mix isn't available to speak at the moment, Zyara is going to ask the servant he woke up, was there any difference between the food served in here and the food served outside?
And the servant kind of thinks for a moment. They're like, I do not know that everything was prepared according to the Lord and Ladyship's directions.
Was there anything abnormal about those directions?
No, nothing out of the ordinary for any normal feast that we have here.
Were there different servants in charge of bringing the food outside?
No. All of us have worked for the Castellanters for quite some time. I don't believe any of us had any tampering with the food.
Because everyone that ate the food in here is fine. But those who were outside and ate the food, it appears to have been tampered with.
I do not know. I thought this was just another extravagant feast that his lord and ladyship were putting on.
Well,
And
it
now
seems
this.
that someone, whether that be the Lord and Ladyship or someone who deigned to take advantage of their generosity, has used this event for nefarious purposes.
We need to talk to the butler. I forget what the hell his name is.
Willifort.
Yeah.
So you kind of try to look around for Willifort. He's up here too in the ballroom. Also conked out.
Jinku, would you like to wake
I'm
him?
already shaking him.
All right, so Jinko, you kind of roughly. Oh, sorry, Mix. Let me get that back up for you. There you go.
Thank you.
Did you hear the answers from the servant you woke up?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're shaking Willifort awake. Willifort comes to, again, also kind of a little bit bewildered, coming out of this ether shock of sorts, and sees you all here, and he's like, "Are the Lord and Lady all right? What has happened? Was there an attack?"
Sorts.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Is everyone all right?
No.
Everyone inside.
What do you mean by that? What's happened outside?
The
They're
best we
dead.
can figure out is the food was poisoned, and we're trying to figure out how and by whom.
Howdy, Elite. And, Wilford, you can see still kind of looking around a bit bewildered and in shock, seeing all these people around. He's like, is everyone in here all right? They all seem to be passed as well. They haven't been hurt.
They're just unconscious.
Oh, oh, I see. Passed out from the shock, or
Yes.
goodness. Well, I can't say that I'm aware of anything untowards that has been going on.
Mix really wants to slap this guy, but he's gonna look at Reynard and be like, "Hey, Reynard,
Oh,
I don't know, something. I just don't trust this guy. I never have.
was there anything strange about the Lord and Lady's instructions for tonight?
For tonight, not with regards to the food. As far as I am aware, that's all the same as they ever have done. I mean, they had us. After you left, we went and stored the coin that you had brought in for them away, and got right to work, getting the foodstuffs put together in the kitchens. And after they had us get going with that, the Lord and Ladyship went off, somewhere in the house on their own, and the rest of us busied ourselves with the preparations.
Where in the house did they go?
Well, I can't really say that I know for sure. I mean, I come at their beck and call, but I mean, can't really say that I follow all of their doings. They're still here. They're not hurt, are they?
We saw them come back in the house after seeing what was outside, but we don't know where they went after.
Hmm. Well,
In terms of staffing, was there anyone specific that was in charge of the food outside versus the food inside?
no, it was all the same. The Lord and Ladyship insisted that it was all the best for Waterdeep.
Do an insight check on this guy.
Sure.
Damn it.
Yeah, I think Zaire is going to roll one too.
Okay.
Something just is off about him to me.
Of course, I didn't roll it hard enough.
All right. Anyone else roll an insight or?
yeah, he's lying."
I've never trusted this dude every time we've encountered him. Gee, what is wrong with us tonight?
Of all the times to be
A
getting all.
broken heart. Cut me some slack.
All right.
Back in the game, boo.
So I mean, those of you you don't really seem to notice anything. Zara, you feel that he is being truthful, but you feel that there is something he is not has not mentioned.
Okay. Um, House of Lanterns, anyone, we need to know. Like, we're trying to figure out what's happened.
And
Someone is keeping something from us. Someone's lying, and we don't know who.
well, if all the people here were attacked, what of the children? Has anyone checked on the children?
Rex is gonna pick this guy up by his collar, and says, "Take us now."
All right. So he kind of shakily gets to his feet. Still a bit kind of wearing off the ether here, and quickly leads you down. Not down the stairs. He leads you kind of across the way. Through a couple doors to another hall, and there's like a kind of a back hallway with um, some other rooms in here, and he mentions that these are the children's rooms, and they are likely there's kind of like a children's common room where they likely are all together, um, probably just playing and amusing themselves while this was all going on. And he goes and opens the door to the children's common room, um, and you see that there are um, some there's like some toys and things that are strewn about the room, and um, it almost seems like um, they were in the middle of being played with, uh, but the twins are nowhere in sight.
Damn it.
Do you guys look around the room at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody who's looking around the room, do a inspection. Investigation, yeah, investigation. Derp.
Ow. Well, Boo and Mix at least
Boo.
rolled well.
Boo and Mix carrying the party. All right. So.
Someone has to without
All right.
Get up, we'll start crying.
All right. So Boo, Mix, you guys are checking around, and like you don't notice, like you aren't seeing like any signs of like a break-in. Like the windows are all fine. It doesn't seem like anybody came in here and like dragged the kids out screaming somewhere. But you do notice, so like a lot of the rooms in this place, um, there's like lots of like tapestries and uh, things kind of hanging on the walls. It's very fanciful and ornate, and you notice that like one of the tapestries on one of the walls has kind of like a strange crease, or like what looks to be kind of like a strange crease in it. And like Mix and Boo, when you're investigating this, you kind of lift up the corner of the tapestry, and there is a somewhat small-ish door that seems to be built into the wall behind the tapestry that kind of opens to like a set of spiral stairs that go downwards.
Butler Deed, you're coming with us. Reynard, you go get the City Watch. Mert, we need a witness, non-part.
And
You know what I mean.
Mert, at at the prospect of you including him, he almost seems a little excited. He's an old adventurer. He's done lots of things in his time, and he almost seems a little excited to kind of be get back into the action a little bit. Um, so much so that you see him like quickly take off his kind of fanciful coat that he was wearing, and underneath it is his kind of usual kind of adventuring attire with all of its pockets and things that he's always wearing. And he says, "I always come prepared for these kind of surprise circumstances. You never know when an adventure is going to come at you.
Zyara is just going to like take her amulet and basically just kiss the back of it and say a prayer to Lyra to protect her.
Okay. All right. So you guys head into this opening behind this tapestry and start kind of descending downwards. You head down for like a little ways, and about a flight of stairs down, there's another opening um, that is also like slightly ajar, which also seems to be behind some tapestry somewhere on the first floor. But the stairs continue to go downward.
So, who's cool-minded enough to ask the butler questions? Because I kind of want to kill him.
At this point, I think that's just Zyara.
Yep.
I mean, you are all still mind linked, so I guess Mix, if you're wanting people to ask things, feel free to mind link it to them.
I'm sorry, I
Zyara,
didn't say that.
he just said that we're all still mind linked. So if there's something that Mix would want asked, he can always just inform Zyara through the mind link, and she will make it less murdery.
Ask him if he knew about this place, this part of it.
Were you aware that this existed, this secret passage?
Willifort replies, "No, no, I had no idea this was here. I mean, all of us here, like all of us that work in the servants' quarters, like we have our own kind of hallways to stay out of sight of things, but this one in particular, no."
Honestly, this just makes our suspicions about the Castle Lantern's true motives for this night a little bit more founded. I'm sorry to say.
You suspect his lord and ladyship had something to do with all this?
Mix is gonna speak up and be like, they are demon worshippers, you moron.
I mean, I know that they have made bad deals with them in the past, but I am not aware of them being worshippers of them. As far as I was aware, they were trying to get out of whatever had happened with the children.
That was our impression too, until recently, when we were warned not to trust them.
Really, you don't know your employers.
It seems I may not know as much as I thought.
We think perhaps the payment of treasure that we gave them maybe wasn't enough, and they're continuing to make deals.
Boo, roll an Arcana check for me. Okay. So, like, Boo, you were already kind of like a little bit miffed out in the villa gardens, seeing all these these people die, and the thought that you had of like, you know man, you missed out on all this energy being used for something. um you kind of get a sense in just kind of the weave of things. um you almost feel like a draft in the weave, coming like this door that you guys, this kind of ajar door behind a tapestry you guys are standing from. Like you almost kind of feel this draft in the weave coming like across the first floor of the villa into this stair area and down.
There's something weird going on, and it feels like this way. I'll leave the group.
Okay.
Zaya's going to turn to the butler and just be like, if you truly had nothing to do with this and you care at all for those children, please go handle the situation and make sure that the remaining guests are okay. We will try and figure this out.
Yes, yes, of course. I will do what I can. And he kind of, ducks and slips out of this door behind this tapestry, and you hear him kind of going across the floor here. You hear him kind of go back up the stairs, um, and assumedly back up to the ballroom where you guys were at before.
Okay. Zaya is going to let Boo lead them then.
Jinku will follow behind Boo and she'll have her flail out.
Yeah, Zaya is going to cast Spiritual Weapon and have her weapon at the ready.
Okay. All right. So you guys keep heading down these stairs, and like the further that you go go down, the more kind of um, like ancient almost the stonework around you feels. Like up where you were before, it like seemed like it was kind of built into the house, um, in secret, you guess. Um, but further down, like you're definitely under the villa. Um, and as far as you were aware, at least in the various times that you've been here, like it didn't seem like there was any like notable basement to this. And it seems like you're farther down than a basement. But eventually, you get to the bottom of the stairs, and you know you kind of feel like kind of a slight draft of like a larger room beyond, and you see these kind of faint lights that are down here, and step out into a large underground chamber. Let me drop you guys on the. Oh wait, did I size this? Oh crap, I didn't size this. I didn't put the grid up here. 1 second, let me put a grid on the map. There we go. Okay. Let me get you guys on here. Boo. Jinku. Wait, not Torta. Zara. Yeah. Mix. And Mert. All right. So you guys step into this kind of large. Um, it almost strikes you as like a chapel almost of sorts. Like this front little part that you're in here, like these pillars rise on either side of you, and you can see like the room extends forwards away, so it's kind of a bit of a darkened hallway, and it seems to expand somewhere down further beyond. You can kind of see kind of almost like a faint reddish light. A good probably couple like a good 100 feet down the ways. There also seem to be some smaller rooms to the left and to the right down here as well. These like some small sets of stairs go up to some, a door that goes into some smaller chambers. But the main crux of the room is forward. All of you roll a perception check for me. All right, Zara, Mix. You guys are kind of listening kind of intently down here, and you hear what sounds like kind of a cry of like fright from like a child. It sounds like up ahead of you all. And after this kind of like cry of fright that you hear like another voice. Like, you can't quite make out what it's saying, but it almost sounds like kind of a male voice, like reprimanding them. But this comes from to the north of you.
Okay. Zaire is just going to tell the rest of the party, I think the children are that way.
We'll go their way.
And let me make sure you're okay. Tokens are unlocked. There you go.
There, which way? Sorry.
North. So just up. All right. So you guys head northwards through this kind of narrower hallway area with these pillars on either side. And after a little ways, like once you get past these kind of rooms that seem to be kind of built into the wall on either side of you, you come out on a like what seems to be definitely a larger chapel area. There are pews that are like strewn all over, kind of haphazardly. It seems this hasn't been used as any sort of reasonable chapel in quite some time. And you see up on the far end what looks to be like a large circle inscribed with various symbols, and you see a very large stone plinth down here, which looks to be piled high with coin, assumedly the coin that you gave to them. And like above this pile of coin, there's like almost this kind of glowing ball, this kind of white gray mass of something, just kind of floats above all of this on this stone plinth on the northern end. And you see two humans, one on either end of this plinth, standing there, both adult-sized. You assume, it looks like it's probably Victoria and Amalia. And you see nearby, kind of cowering behind one of the pews up towards the front, you see what look to be the twins, kind of crouched down. One of them is crying. They don't seem to really know what to make of this situation.
Well, I guess we're here to save you guys.
As you guys are still down like the southern end of the chapel here. You see Victoro kind of raise his hands above this plinth here, and he calls out, "Asmodeus, we have brought your price." We have fulfilled our end of the contract. Release us. And as he calls this out, like you all of you almost kind of, you feel the air almost like get denser around you and warmer. Um, and you see almost kind of like a ethereal head kind of appear in the air above this circle here, um, of a kind of a humanoid figure. And all you can see is his head. Let me see. Do I have a picture of him at all?
I honestly, my head canon is Asmodeus because he's the contract guy. Looks
Mhm.
like Dilbert.
Looks like Dilbert. Holy shit. Oh, God damn it. How do I not have a picture of him? Well, here. I can grab one real quick. Let me just download this. See.
Well, now all I can see in my head is Dilbert.
Alright, save. Import. How did I forget to get a picture of him? Come on.
Come on, Moog.
I had all this
You
time.
had how long to prepare?
I know. I know. Wait, why didn't that download? Oh, wait, hold on. I fucked up my camera. Okay, well, I can't seem to get one to download in the right format for Fantasy Grounds, so that's annoying. But anyways, well, he looks like Dilbert. All right, we're gonna go with that. Whatever. He looks like Dilbert. Why not? But a very ominous Dilbert for some reason. It's Dilbert, but from those particular strips where he's got like little demon horns. We'll go with that. Why not? His head appears, and it seems to kind of slowly glance over this plinth here, with this coin and what, at least from what you can infer, seem to be the souls of all these people that got killed. um, but he kind of looks over this plinth here and says, "Well, well, so it seems you have. I must say, I am pleasantly surprised at this. I did not think you would go so far." And Victoro, he almost he laughs, but it's kind of a like he almost sounds like kind of on the verge of losing it a bit. And he says, anything for our children. And you hear their twins are, just crying and screaming, like they're totally cowering behind this pew. They're not even looking anymore. Um, they are terrified. And Victor, or this head of Asmodeus, hovering above this plinth, says, "Well, very well. You are absolved of your contract. Your children are released." And at this, Victoria and Amalia both like they run to each other, they embrace, they're cheering. Tears seem to be running down their faces. What are you guys all doing as this is happening down here at the southern end of the room?
I mean, not gonna lie, Zaira kind of wants Asmodeus to just be like, haha, JK, now I'ma eat your guys' souls and your kids will be safe, just like I promised.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a reason to kill some parents.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to admit that, but I, for once, really agree with Boo.
Yeah, like,
Damn it! Why are
Zaira
we all agreeing with Boo at the end?
Zaira could get behind like helping them to break the contract when it was just about money, but knowing that they like basically used us to help them kill so many innocent people just pisses her the hell off and only reinforces her hatred of nobility.
The one thing Mix loves is children, so yeah, they killed children out there. He's ready to murder them. Like he's ready to walk up there and sell his soul to Amadeus just to eat him.
Yeah, there were definitely some dead kids out in the garden. That is for sure.
Not to mention all of the people that just grabbed food and went back home,
That too.
probably to feed it to their children.
Yep. It's a disaster.
Well, their crimes in Waterdeep means that they will be killed. Does the Circus Bazaar still go on in Waterdeep in this one?
I mean,
The
there's
cart.
wait, which?
Where
Are
they
you
just
talking about the cart?
no. It's where they do the executions and it's a big fanfare and like people get flayed alive.
Oh.
Oh no, they don't really do that in Waterdeep anymore these days. If there are executions, they're kind of more privately done. But like you guys have all kind of like standing here on the southern end of the room, and you know, as as they've been like released from their contract, Victoria kind of sees you all down at the other end of the room, and he kind of calls out to you all and says, "So, I see you've found there was a little more to our contract than we may have let on. But this
Looks
blood
like
is
it.
on your hands too. You participated, these people, and this came to completion at your hands as well as ours.
There's no blood on our hands. We simply paid you. We gave you money.
You facilitated the completion of this ritual. You say we're guilty, you are also guilty. The coin on this table is yours. Who are you
Can't
to
believe we
judge
kicked the
us?
shit out of them.
Well, we've never, sacrificed our own child to a demon, so I think we have the upper hand morality wise.
Is Amadeus still floating in the room?
The head? Uh at this point I think Asmodeus's head has left. And the coin and like the glowing ball and stuff that were on the plinth seem to have disappeared with him.
Ah, okay. Hey,
Reality wise, we simply paid you for an artifact that you provided us. And we have documentation of that. I'd like to think that the courts of Waterdeep would judge you much more guilty for inviting the entire neighborhood to their deaths at your own estate.
They were the poor. What do they matter?
Where do you think your food and your goods come from? What makes you better than them when you literally sold your firstborn in order to get your own wealth? At least they have an honest living. What have you ever done honestly?
We have saved our second-born and third-born. Would you not do anything for your children?
I wouldn't sacrifice dozens of innocent people for them.
Innocent, meaningless people.
In my eyes, you're the meaningless people. You contribute nothing to society.
At this point, Jinku's having a really hard time not rushing forward and just attacking nice people.
So,
Nyx
oh,
is
go ahead,
gonna
Mix.
I'm gonna send my Tressum to go start comforting the children. Because they're probably still terrified, and they're probably horrified to find that their parents just murdered a bunch of people.
They are, yeah, they are.
And then I'm gonna look at Mert and be like, I know you're excited, but we really need somebody to bear witness to all this. And he's gonna hand him his pistol. Are you any good with these? Because I need you to cover us while we go tackle a couple of, well, assholes.
It's like as you hold out your pistol to him, Mert kind of chuckles and says, "Oh, no worries, friend. I come well prepared." And he kind of pulls back like the sides of his cloak kind of hanging over his sides here, and you see like a few, like a sword, a dagger, a few other things kind of tucked away in scabbards at his side, and says, let no one say that Mert's adventuring days are over. Durden will hear the tale of this yet. I'm not going to stand idly by. I'll be there at your side."
We appreciate the support.
So at this, while this is going on, you guys kind of almost feel that like heaviness in the room return, that you felt before, and uh, nothing appears, but you hear a voice kind of ringing out through the chapel, which you recognize as the voice of Asmodeus, who was here a moment ago, and he says, my, the the depths you have fallen to. I mean, I was already surprised that you held up this end of the deal, but the disdain. You sound like one of my own. And he says, Your children, your children are free. Your contract is fulfilled, but I think you two may be better suited in my halls than these lowly halls of the mortal realm." And you hear this kind of loud red, like crackling of lightning, kind of burst out over this kind of ring at the front of this cathedral here. And Victoria and Amalia both let out these kind of horrible screams, and you see them begin floating off the air. And it's a little hard to see because there's all of this like this red lightning and pyrotechnics going off and whatnot. But when they finish, all you are left with is this kind of ringing laughter of Asmodeus fading away, and you see uh, that Victoro and Amalia have transformed into something else. Let me get them on the map here.
Shit, these kids are gonna need so much therapy.
Sayara looks at Mix since his Tressum is with the kids and just tells him, you need to have your Tressum guide them out of here right now.
I'm on it. Mixel's gonna run forward to right about there, so he's far enough away from Jinku and Boo to not hurt them. And he's gonna thunderstep straight to the kids and grab them and find a room to put them in.
All right. So the kids are there's like all these pews that are like kind of in front of here. They were to like the southwest of where Victoria and Amalia were. They were like behind a pew, like right there. And if you're wanting to get them to a room, I mean, there's those rooms that were further back that you guys passed that are probably the most sheltered ones here if you're trying to get them away from whatever's going down.
So they're in the front of the circle?
The kids were here, where I moved you to. They were right there, behind that pew.
Is that room to the left? How quickly can I get them in there?
In there, you could definitely get them in pretty quickly. Like there's a door about 10 feet northwest of you that goes in there.
While this is all going on, Nix is just going to pick them both up. His Tressum will just probably run behind him, and he's going to run in here and deposit the kids behind this wall. Set them down, give them the cute little kitty, and say, "Hey, just pet him, and or pet her, and put your hands over your ears."
All right. So the rest of you, go ahead, or well, not just the rest of you, all of you, go ahead and roll for initiative. All right. Still need Boo, it looks like.
There's Coffin Bible.
Nice. All right. Good roll. There's the good rolls. Now they're coming out when it matters.
At least for this, who knows what's going to be in the battle.
Yeah. All right, so Boo, you are up first.
I will cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
Apparently, I wonder when I cast that last. Do you know? 'Cause I have it on myself already.
I am not sure, but if it's already there, cool.
Yeah, if it's 8 hours long. I think it was recently. Okay, so I won't cast Mage Armor.
Okay.
I will. You'll see Boo kind of like hunch over a little bit, and then 5 like skeletal arms will come out of his robes.
Nice.
Nice tribute.
And
This is-
then
I will
Will-
remember you.
This is just a tribute.
I'll move up there
Okay.
on the wall.
Okay. All right.
And then I'll cast Fireball in between them.
All right.
Fuck them, that's why.
Blast them.
Yeah.
And then that'll be everything I can do.
Nice. All right.
Garbage. Garbage, I say.
Looks like they both succeeded the saves, but they still took.
Garbage. Garbage damage, I say.
Yeah, there's a lot of ones in that damage. Oof.
Who's got tears in his eyes? Leave him.
Yeah, we know. He's had a rough time. All right.
Okay, maybe that fireball will dry those tears up, so you'll do better next time.
Kinko has a point.
All right. So the demonic entity that seems to be where Amalia, or seems to have the appearance of Amalia. Let me get you. Should have a closer up picture. There's her. She kind of lets out this scream and hefts this longbow and points it in your direction, Boo, and fires. Oh, what? I didn't target you. Well, I didn't target you. 12 doesn't. That doesn't hit you, right?
Oh, that's awesome. No, it doesn't. And also, boo. So it's a bow.
Yeah, it's a bow.
Okay, when you are hit. Oh, I have to actually be hit to catch it. Never mind. Okay.
Oh, do you? I thought you could just.
Yeah, it says you can use your reaction to deflect or catch the missile when you are hit by a ranged weapon attack.
Ah, okay. So it has to be like rolled
Yeah,
to
I
hit
would-
you, and then you deflect it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that one, since that one misses, it doesn't count. Okay. But we'll keep that in your back pocket. So. All right. So she fires that, and then she quickly knocks another arrow and fires again. Why is this not targeting? There we go. Fires again. That one does hit, so you can use your reaction there.
Yeah, knocking shit over on my desk. Damage. So then I reduce damage by 1d10 plus 5.
Okay. Let me roll. Let's see what the damage was, and we'll take that off.
So I reduce it by 9.
Okay. So go ahead and fix your HP with whatever that would. I think you all still have like some temporary HP buff, or at least some of you do.
Yeah, we received it from somewhere.
You received it from, there was a dwarven thing down in the vault that blessed you all something. Although you should still. Did that take off? Did that already use up all the temporary HP that was on you?
Yeah.
It did. Okay.
It looks like it was 25 damage.
It was 24, and so if you'd actually still have some temporary HP left. It looks like.
It'd have 5 left, right?
Yep. So go ahead and put that back on, and so then I assume that does the 9 damage get reflected back to her, or does the arrow go back and then she gets hit with her own damage?
If I can reduce it to 0, then I am able to catch it, and then I can spend points to throw it back at him and like. But I can reduce the damage anyway. Just
okay. Okay. Cool. So that is her turn. Zai, what are you doing?
So Zai already has her weapon out.
Mm-hmm.
Zai took that out before we came down.
Yep, you already got your spiritual weapons out. Well, if it's your spiritual weapon, you can move it.
The big one, because I've already measured out for my turn. The big guy's 60 away from me. If that helps you.
Yeah, it looks like he's 55 from me.
Mm-hmm.
My spiritual weapon doesn't go that far.
Okay. Well, you still can move, so you could move
I know.
and then.
I'm. Yeah, I think I'll do that.
D&D, the nerdiest game. Dragons, and you have to do math.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do my guiding bolt.
Okay.
Damn it.
Damn. All right, that guiding bolt unfortunately misses.
Well, I still have my bonus action.
Yep.
So I'm going to move forward. Okay. Move forward, and then have my spiritual weapon go to him and attack.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that up.
Spiritual weapon, where are you?
I thought in my head, you're a spiritual weapon because you're a cleric, and this falls back on the previous bad assumptions I've made.
Oh yeah. Mick, Baza missed that.
What?
The fact that Quick didn't remember I was a cleric.
Oh, right. All right. So your purple flaming scythe comes zooming towards what remains of Victoro here, and misses. Unfortunately, he managed to kind of deftly dodge in the air. Here, let me get you the picture of him as well. There we go. All right, which brings us to Jinku.
Okay. Oh. I had already gotten my flail out before we came down here, but of course you're not close enough, so I'm just gonna dash, and then I'll attack on my next turn.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Mert. He is here and he is ready to rumble.
I am super excited to see what Mert does.
Does he have a cool catchphrase like, I'm Mert?
So,
I'm Merton.
no, it's gotta be better than
I'm Merton.
Mert at your service.
Here comes Murdy.
It's Merton time.
It's Merton time. Fine. He says it's Merton time.
I love it.
and he comes northward up the middle of the pews here. Let's see. All right. And he pulls a couple of daggers off of his belt here and chucks them at Victoro. Two of them hit at least.
You know, he hasn't been adventuring in a while. He's got to get warmed up.
It's true. It's
What's
true.
our excuse then?
We haven't been in a fight in a while.
All right, two of them land. He manages to lodge some in Victorio's side here. As Zaire, you can kind of hear him like kind of breathing a little heavily behind you here. It seems running up between the pews and all of this, like like you said, he's been out of adventuring for a little while, but he's got the spirit. So uh,
Man.
mix.
I'm going to step out around the corner. I'm going to stay right here guarding these kids. And I'm going to try to smack a witching bolt into Mary's.
Okay.
Gonna smack a witching bolt into that bitch.
Oh. And that misses, kind of crackling across this kind of inscribed circle in the floor here. Is there anything else you try to do with your cloak full of poison?
Do I have a bonus action?
Yeah, you haven't used your bonus action.
I'm going to turn around, facing her, and I am going to drink Flame of Sanus.
Yes!
Oh my god!
You're gonna have to remind us all.
It's a DC con save. If I pass the save, I don't take any damage to myself, but I shoot a 20-foot cone of flame out of my ass to deal 66 damage.
So if you save, you will not have explosive diarrhea pain.
No. If I save, I take half the damage of the poison.
Oh my god, your
If
ass is gonna hurt so bad.
Either way, there's gonna be some flames coming out of his ass.
Either way, he's gonna need to see a good GI doctor after this.
All right, at 14, that should pass the save, so you're good on that front.
Let's see. This is
I'm so excited.
This is so great.
6d6 fire damage and a 20-foot cone out of my butt.
All right.
And I hope to roll 5d6. I take half damage on myself.
Okay. You said it was a 20-foot or a 40-foot, you said?
25-foot cone.
25?
Hit her.
Okay.
Her damage.
Yep. Nice. Let me apply that damage to her.
And so what, I take 9?
Yeah, we'll say 9. We'll round down and say 9.
Okay.
So what was the second roll also damage to her? Is that right, or was that just a second roll for your side of things?
No, I take half damage.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not worried. I have a bonus action my next turn that can heal all that. So
Nice. All right, so let me get this on her HP here real quick. Let's see. So that's 22, 9, 7, and
I'm so glad that you didn't use that in whatever shenanigans we originally had you get that for.
I think that was that you got that for like when you guys went to the Xanathar thing.
I am going to need some cream though.
You're probably gonna need some cream.
You're
Yeah.
putting it on yourself.
All right. So the Horned Devil, what remains of Victoro here. He's pretty tall. He kind of towers like even over you, Jinku, a bit. He's probably like a good 9 foot tall or so, and he's got this big kind of fork of sorts. And he pokes this in your direction, Jinku, with the fork, and then he also brings his tail around, swinging at you with that. All right. The fork hits, tail misses. Alright, and you take... Wait, absorbed.
Because I had the temporary.
Oh, the temporary hit points. Okay, that's right. I forgot that Fantasy Grounds calls that absorbed when it's up. Okay. So you take 11 damage. You still got some temporary hit points left from that. Let's see. Which brings us to Mert at the top of round 2. Mert runs up in here, right up to this horned devil here. And let's see. So as he kind of comes up on you, Jinku, you see him kind of crouch down a bit, and he almost kind of uses you a bit as cover, Jinku, and he executes a sneak attack on the horned devil. Let's see. So let me put that on him. And so with this sneak attack, he comes out swinging with a long sword. Man, out of practice bit. Oh, that one hits.
It's okay. He's getting the hang of it again.
It's okay. Two hits. That's a lot. All right.
Way to go, Mert.
Putting in some good smackaroos. All right. Which brings us to Mix.
I am going to do an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Jeez. Wait, did that not roll?
I don't see anything rolling yet. So unless it's just... Oh, I'm seeing something
there we
roll.
go.
There it rolls. And a miss. Oof.
And I'm going to hold off using my healing light until I need it, so...
Okay. Are you doing anything else on your turn then for your bonus action, or...?
I have stuff I have to get in floats.
Okay.
And I have to use full actions for the rest of my poisons.
Nope. Oh, hey. Looks like we just got raided by Drake Tails. Hey, Drake.
Hey, Drake.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming. We're in the middle of a big fight at the end of a campaign right now. All right. So, Mix. That brings us to then Jinku. Right up in the thick of things.
Okay, I'm going to attack this guy twice with my flail.
Okay.
One miss.
A hit. Roll them up. Nice.
That's my turn.
Alrighty. And that brings us to Boo. What are you doing back up here on the wall?
I'll scrabble up here like this.
Okay.
And I will cast a lightning bolt across the two of them.
Nice, nice. Let her rip. Alright, well, they succeeded on the saves, but they still take damage from that. Go ahead and roll that up. Look at all those dice.
Nice.
Oh, wait, why did it cast Fireball?
Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. The save is the same, but the damage is different.
Okay.
I think that probably matters with these guys.
It would, yeah, because it looks like they resisted.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. That's better.
There we go. That's what we'd like to see. Okay. So this lightning crackles across here, like Mert and Jinku, both of you kind of take a quick step back as this blasts across this kind of ritual area here, hitting both of these with lightning. They seem to, like, it doesn't seem to do as much damage as you think, but they at least didn't fully resist that one. Alright, Horn Devil here. He raises his fork and tries jabbing it twice. Oops. Select. Tries jabbing it twice at Mert.
It's technically called a bident.
It is technically called a bident. You are correct. But it is listed as a fork in his actions. Alright. Stabs it twice.
Actually?
Actually. So attacks twice at Mert. Gets a critical hit on one of them. Alright, so that was the critical. And this one's normal. Dealing a hefty chunk of damage to Mert. But Mert seems to take it in stride. He's gotten hit by worse before. You see, Jinky, you see him kind of turn his head and like spit onto the floor. I mean, looks like there's maybe a little bit of blood in there, but he's like,
a flesh wound.
yeah, he spits on the floor and he kind of like, you know, kind of moves his arms around a little bit and he's like, well, that'll get things pumping.
His next hit's gonna be epic because he's really pumped now.
All right, so the Aranese, she moves towards your direction here, Boo, and like you're still up on the wall ways, right? You're like what, like 10, 15 feet up the wall?
No, I wouldn't have had the movement for that. I was just on the wall to just maybe,
be on the
what
wall.
would it be, like maybe 36 inches off the ground, high enough to where the pews weren't going to cause me any movement issues to get around.
Okay.
But yeah.
I see. Okay, it's not like way up there. All right. So she comes over here and kind of hefts a long sword off of her back here and swings at you, Boom. Missing. All right, and that is her turn. Zai.
So I think. Let's see. So I think Zai is going to attack with her spiritual weapon again.
Okay.
Jesus.
Oof.
I guess bonus action. That one hits.
There you go.
Get him.
Really?
Oof.
It's okay.
It's something.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Anything else?
No.
Wait. Doesn't your spiritual weapon attack separately from you? Or am I remembering that wrong?
I can move it to attack separately from me. It is currently moved.
Okay.
What are you getting at?
Oh, I thought you could still like do something yourself, and then your spiritual weapon was attacking.
I can have my spiritual weapon attack as a bonus action.
Oh, right.
Like,
Okay.
I could do something and then have my spiritual weapon attack on its own.
Okay.
Which is what I did last turn.
Okay, that's right. Okay. All right. Jinku.
Hell yeah. We're gonna do another double attack with the flail.
All right.
Damn it.
Damn. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. Ooh.
Girl made a mistake here.
Oh.
And stepped in melee range. So I will start wailing on her. I get, what do I get here? So I get 3 attacks, unarmed strikes at her.
Nice. Ooh, a hit. A crit. And a miss. All right, I think. I guess go ahead and roll twice so the crit one applies.
You can make your attacks crits.
Oh, can you? Oh, nice.
Boom, dropping that crit damage.
There we go.
There.
Okay.
I would spend a key point to do that again.
Nice, nice. Good stuff.
Oh.
Nice. Max on the dice there. Good stuff.
That's my turn.
Cool. Alright, so the Aranese here kind of reacts to you striking her here and kind of lets out this yell. And you can kind of hear among like her screaming here and says, "You'll hurt me! You'll hurt our children!" And she swings again at you here, Boo, with her long sword. Ooh, a crit.
Ooh.
Which... Ooh. Does a good bit of damage to you there. She swings at you again. Really whiffing that one, though. Mix. Aranese is right out the door from you here.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to do something high damage with a save or something I can roll a damage with and really mess a roll up. I'm gonna go for Witching Bolt again, so I can fry this lady.
All right.
I'm on Mind Spiker at a level 4 spell.
Ooh. All right. She failed the save. Nice one. Does that I forget, does that have any other like effects or does that just do like psychic damage?
It does psychic damage. She can't be invisible to me. I always know where she's at, and I believe I have advantage on attacks.
Sick. Good stuff. All right. All right, so as you kind of fire this mind spike, you see her kind of clasp the sides of her head, and like let out this like kind of scream of pain as she takes the psychic damage from this. And yeah, we'll just remember to put the advantage on you when you come back around here. Zai.
Oh, me again.
It do be.
Okay, so I am going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
But I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt at her.
Okay. Nice.
Can I cast that as a second level spell? Or did I have to state that ahead of time?
Well, that's fine. I think that mainly just changes the damage. So since we haven't rolled that yet, yeah, that doesn't change like the dice roll. So that hit. Sure, if you want to cast a second level spell, go ahead and roll it as such.
I don't know how to do that.
What does it say? Does it just like add another
Yeah.
dice? Okay, we'll go ahead and roll the regular damage, and then we'll just have you roll like an extra dice, and I'll add that in manually. Okay, so I guess roll another d6.
Yep.
Nice, another 6. Cool. I'm gonna get that applied here.
22 damage.
Nice, and then that gives everybody like advantage against her. Is that right?
I don't remember if it's everybody or just the next person.
Or just the next person?
I think it is the next person.
Yeah, the next attack roll made against this target before the end of my next turn has advantage thanks to my spell. So whether it's Mix or Boo, whoever hits her next, you have advantage.
Cool.
And then
Oh, your spiritual weapon. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and then my spiritual weapon is still by the big dude, so I'm gonna do that on him.
Ah, that one misses, unfortunately. All right, Mert. He's kind of recovering still from this attack that hit him last time, but he kind of ducks behind you, Jinku, and kind of moves around to the other side in the process, and gets another sneak attack ready to do on this horned devil. And he pops out, swinging hard. Nice. That hits.
He attacked me.
Yes,
Oh, did he? Oh, that's why it rolled twice. Oh, sorry, Jaku. That was not on you. Ah. Go ahead and undo that 28 or 19 damage on you, it looks like, or 28 damage on you. Mert likes you. You're his friend. All right, so this longsword comes out, and he like swipes across hard at the Toro's legs here, and manages to actually kind of take off like one of his feet with this strike with his longsword, and you hear him kind of let out this yeah, and kind of follows up with another dagger strike. But the kind of excitement of it all whiffs the follow up dagger strike, but the longsword hit at least. All right, and the Horned Devil reacts to this, kind of wailing in pain as his foot kind of falls to the floor. You kind of step aside a little bit, Jinku. It kind of bounces in your direction a little bit. He Let's see. You see him kind of pull one of his hands back, and you see this fire kind of glowing in his hand, and it kind of grows until it's like a decently sized ball, and he brings it down and like smashes it at Mert. Hits, dealing a hefty chunk of damage to Mert. You see his mutton chops are a little singed here, as well as like parts of his adventuring cloak have some spots. The edges are looking a little toasty from that one. All right, and I know we're a little bit over. We're gonna do one last round, and we'll call it good there, and then we'll pick up the remainder of it. I guess we're still gonna have one last session after this to finish up the fight and a little bit afterward, and it might be a short one.
Yeah, let's do one last round. I got an idea.
Okay.
Alright.
All right, Jinku hit with the flail. Nice, nice. Nice, second hit. The first flail comes around smacking, and you kind of deftly whirl it over your head, bringing it in for another hit. Both of them doing a nice chunkaroo on this guy. Boo. you're up. And if you're hitting the air and knees, you have advantage on whatever the heck you're doing.
Okay, so Boo's, like I said, he's pretty fucked up. It's really weird because this is the first time Boo's like really felt he bonded with somebody. He's hurt. He will gonna come down off the wall and he'll move across her, like through her threatened space, so
Okay.
she'll get an attack of opportunity there.
Okay. Let me roll that real quick.
And he's got his like staff out, and he's kind of like leaning on it as he's doing this.
All right. So she swings.
Shit.
Yeah, that's fair. He takes it right to the back.
All right. So she gets you real good as you're going past Boo. Running across the floor here. What are you doing?
I will spend the rest of my movement speed to step to the peak here.
Okay.
I think that should put them in a 30-foot radius and the others outside of it.
Yep. That should, yeah. I think if you were one square to the left, yeah, then yeah,
yeah, that works. That's less movement, so
yeah.
And then I'll look up and I'll slam my staff of power on the ground
Nice.
hard enough to shatter it.
Ooh. All right.
So this will release its magic in a 30-foot radius centered on me.
Okay.
I got a 50-50 shot of transporting to a random plane of existence as a result of this.
Oh
So I'll roll like a d20. We'll say like odds.
Yeah.
Or I get transported. All right, so
Okay.
I stay.
Cool. Cool.
Okay, so then the two need to make a DC 17 dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Let's see here. Dexterity. All right, so there's hers. Fails. And he fails. They both fail.
Okay, so I think they're both what? 5. Well, let me target them. Okay, 25.
Yeah, 25 and 30 it looks like.
So they'll each take 4 times the number of charges left in the staff worth of damage. So they'll each take 80 damage.
Holy.
Holy shit!
But
I
so
think
we'll-
she's dead.
Boo will as well
Ooh.
when he does this.
Ooh. Hot damn. Okay.
Boo takes 16 times, unfortunately. He takes 320.
Oh. Oh man.
No, no.
Oh shit. All right, so 80 with 80 damage. Yeah, that takes her out, and he is barely there. Yeah, but she is gone. And then I guess Boo is too, I guess.
Yeah, massive damage rolls. Like, I imagine, like, Boo did that and then, like, opened up his arms and just
Holy.
Just T-posed.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty much.
All right. So, all right, Boo. So you do this, and this goes off. What I guess what color is this explosion like? How does this look with busting the staff of power?
So like I imagine the thing like on the when it smacks, like it's like a crack that is probably felt within the weave ways away, and then just this like black energy just immediately slams out into like a globe, and then like a black hole just kind of sucks in, and yeah, who's gone, and
Shit.
the
Okay.
it's gone.
So I'm gonna say, like, right before you bite the big one, you can send a message through the sending stone to Zai.
Aren't we all still mind linked?
Oh, you are still mind linked. Okay, yeah, so you,
Okay,
you can
yep.
send a message to everyone.
Fuck you, Mix.
I
I
saw
feel
that.
like we should expect that.
Oh, oh my god!
Without last session, Boo could not have done this. Like
Oh.
I would not have been able to end myself, unalive myself without what happened last session.
Oh
So,
shit,
yeah.
you're right. That's true. Holy fuck, that's amazing. Oh, man. Wow, what a way to go. But yeah, let me delete her. She's very deleted. Boom, she's gone.
So, what were you saying about another session?
Yeah, I guess maybe we will. Like if I mean, well, we only got a couple more hits on this guy, and I got like a quick, short little thing to tie it up. But I mean, if everyone's okay with us being a little bit over,
Let's just fuck him up and
all right,
be
let's
done with
fuck
it.
him up and be done with it. All right. So Boo bites the big one. Big black explosion. Like this whole middle area, like this whole like the ground around here, like all of the like inscriptions. It's all just like been like blasted clean. There's like a massive like radiating crack in the floor from the back of this, and like everything is gone. And that brings us to you, Mix, with Boo's final words of "fuck you," Mix, ringing in your ears as the Gallad Freddy just poofs, and what's left of Victoro, he's actually missing like his bottom half. He is not looking good.
Well, I guess suicide's the order of the day, but I can't. I'm trying to find this real fast. Oh well. I guess you get to decide if I die or not.
Okay.
I'm gonna run up to 10 feet away from him
Okay.
and drop all my poison at the ground.
Okay.
And there is going to be. Oh, wait. Gotta back up a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Everybody's out of range of this. All the shards from all my poison bottles are going to blast out in a 20-foot radius.
Okay.
And I'm going to thunderstep this. Now, if I you get to choose if I get away in time or not.
Okay. All right. So if
And I'm just gonna go for it and
Okay.
thunderstep, and he's gonna take thunderstep damage first.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that.
I don't like finishing sessions alive.
There's no happily ever after here.
All right. That blasts him a bit more. He is barely hanging on. He's like screaming in anger and terror. It's not a great sound, but it also is kind of a great sound for all of you. Uh, and I guess we'll let the dice decide. We'll do kind of like we did with Boo. I guess evens. You stay, odds you don't. Oof.
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit. All right. So your poison bomb goes off. Like what damage do those do? Like or how much?
I gotta find the poison flasks.
Okay.
Okay, so this is 36 times 6, 1d12s.
Holy.
With a DC 10 Constitution save 36 times to see if you take different damage, but I don't feel like rolling all that.
Yeah, we're not gonna roll all of those, but let me. I mean, well, even if it's half, that's gonna be way more than enough. Definitely with that many. But just for fun, go ahead and roll like 36 d12s. I just want to see that.
No, it's not 36 d12s. It's 36 times 6 d12s.
Oh Jesus, I think that might break fantasy grounds.
I told you I'm dropping all my poison.
Oh my God. You know what? Let me try it from my end, just because that sounds really amusing. All right.
You could you could just type that out.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
So the scent, I imagine, is
Oh my
not
God.
puppy farts.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. 14. That was a very satisfying amount of dice. So your little poison explosion, 14,080, or not 14, 1,485 damage to this guy, and like that practically just melts him, the amount of poison that is. And unfortunately, you as well, Mix, we're gonna give you the same thing we gave to Boo. You're all mind linked. What are you going out with?
Jinku, take care of my cat.
Ah. Damn.
Well, I guess me and Zayara are gonna go start a new life.
I guess so. So at this, both of them got like just absolutely vaporized by a double nuke at the hands of Boo and Mix. Holy shit. And like Mert, he kind of drops to his knees on the ground, both like in relief and in like shock, and a whole mix of feelings here. And you kind of like the two of you, Jinku, Zaya, you two are left, and you see Mix's like Tressum kind of poke his head around the door to the west over there, and it seems like it seems like it's over. I mean, these kids, like, we don't know, like, what are you gonna do with these kids? Yeah, I guess so. You might as well. And Mert kind of picks himself up off the ground and says, "My gods, it has been years since I've seen this sacrifices so noble."
I'm surprised that Boo was able to do something that selfless.
We're not hearing her.
Sorry, I had to mute because I was picking up Moog. I was saying that I'm surprised that Boo was capable of doing something so selfless.
Was it? Was it selfless?
It was not. That was Boo acting out in a fit of rage.
I knew it.
Now, like, he did maneuver himself because, like, there was a 50% chance he could live, and he needed somebody to look after the future children.
I just wanted to die on my own terms because I poisoned a full room full of royalty. So
Fair.
Yeah, there's no way we were winning that trial.
To them, but
Yeah, we weren't winning that trial.
I mean, Mert could probably make a good argument for you guys, but a fair assumption. But yeah, you guys kind of stand in the, what's left of this cathedral down here, and the twins nearby. They're kind of coming out of the room to the west with this Tressum of Mixes, kind of flitting around their shoulders, and they kind of look at you all, and they're like, is it over? What happened? Are are they gone?
Uh, yes. Unfortunately, your parents are gone.
And at this, like the two kids, like they've already, they're already kind of been on the crying and being terrified. It doesn't take much to push you back into tears at this point. And they both kind of begin crying at the thought of this, and like the that girl's like, what are we gonna do? Where are we gonna go?
We have plenty of room at our inn if you would want to stay with us. We already take care of 3 other children around your age. It's your choice, of course.
And they, the little girl kind of rubs her nose with her sleeve, kind of wiping some snot away. And she's like, okay, that sounds nice. Just let's get away from here. This is bad.
Yes, I'm sure this place is very scary for you.
All right, and so with you and the kids and Mert kind of helping along as well, like you three managed to make it back up out of the basement here, and you find that the city watch has descended upon the scene above, and Mert kind of vouches on your behalf and tries to explain the situation to everyone. And you're all, after some kind of questioning at the hands of the city guard, you're allowed to go back to Troll Skull in light of the situation. And to kind of close things out, we'll kind of jump forward in time a little bit. Um, probably like a month or so later. You've had some time to heal and to rest up, and the twins have gotten a little more used to living with you all at Troll Skull there. And you guys come down one evening to the inn, and you find Raynar there, and Mert is there. They seem to be already waiting for you, and the place is packed. Packed to the gills. I mean, the business has picked up pretty well actually after all of this. As word spread around of what you guys had done for the city, and for kind of avenging all of these people. I mean, to the common folk of Waterdeep, they consider you heroes for sticking a big one to the nobles for once, and they are out in full force here tonight at the Troll Skull Inn. And as you guys kind of walk in here, um, Mert kind of stands up and raises a glass in Zai and Jinku's direction here. It says, "Let's hear it! Let's hear it for the heroes of Troll Skull." And you see nearby, kind of sitting nearby Mert, there is um, a couple people with instruments, and they kind of strike up a little song here with a uh, kind of hauntingly familiar tune from a long time ago. And they kind of get this going, and the people in the tavern, they all kind of start kind of moving back and forth to the beat of the song, and they break into song together. Hear ye well the haunting tale, our splendorous city was assailed by greed, by violence, by demons, blood-stained be this summer season, yet through clouded secret strife, the troll skull heroes saved our lives. And they break into a second verse after the first. The glass to Tortaboo, mix Zyara and Jinku, striking down the demons fell to save those murdered souls from hell. Nobles fall, but us we rise, toast water Davians all tonight. And that's that. We close the book on Dragon Heist. Same place we started with the dipping song. Woo! God damn.
Over.
What a way to go. That was awesome, guys. Damn, we made it. Woo.
Only took 12 years.
Yeah, right. Woo. Man. All right. So, yeah. Wow. That was wild. We'll have to I'll definitely get this put up for Torta so he can see what shit you guys got up to here whenever he has a chance to watch. But oh hey, Torta's here. Torta's here in chat. We made it to the end with some I don't know how much you caught of the end there, Torta, but Boo and Mix had a hell of a way to go at the end. We'll get you the link to the full thing. It was pretty great. But
Boo literally bleeded himself.
yeah, but they both did.
Well, Mix took an acid bath and
Boo just
ceased
ceased to be. He's an ex-parrot. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. This has been great. This is what, 53? Yeah, 53 episodes of Dragon Heist to get to this point. We'll probably take, like, I think just to give me some time to get stuff put together and so we can get stuff figured out for Extinction Curse. We probably won't do a session in 2 weeks and pick it up in 2 weeks past that, just so I have some time to get stuff put together and get all the materials and things because I haven't done anything
So
with
put
Pathfinder.
our next session on September 16th.
Yes, yeah, September 16th, and I think if I remember right, I think Dendang
Yes.
was
he's
looking
in.
to join. Yeah, Sam was looking to
he's
join
in.
us.
He's pumped. He's excited if you'll have him.
I will gladly have him. I'll get a room set up for Extinction Heist in the Discord for all of us, and get us all in there so we can get planning and plotting. When we do that first session, we'll probably, I mean, feel free to start thinking about your characters. I mean, it's Pathfinder 2 instead of 5e. So different
I
system.
don't know anything about Pathfinder.
It's like in terms of like there's like some differences in terms of like classes and races and things that are available, and like the systems are different. But you know it's still kind of a fantasy setting, so it's similar in that regard.
The big thing to remember with it, Riz, when you're looking at there's a lot of good online tools where you could kind of build out characters ahead of time.
Yeah.
But really, your ancestry, your race doesn't matter a whole ton.
Yep.
But it kind of does. But your big way, in 5e, you kind of get your class, you choose your archetype, and then you kind of get your stuff through that. In Pathfinder, you do get stuff from your class, But another huge, massive source of your power comes from the various feats that you get. Every level you get feats, and they're broken out into general feats, class feats, or ancestry feats. And so you're able to kind of you look and find feats that kind of synergize with your class, and um can kind of end up with some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, like it's a
if
lot
you-
more customizable than 5e. Like your character is a lot more customizable because you're not like just stuck with, these are the cleric things and this is all you get.
yeah,
And plus, it's nice because since you get like stuff every single level, because in D&D there's those levels where it's like all you get is like the number goes up, and that's
Yep.
it. You get like you get to choose a feat at like every single level in
yeah, you're
Pathfinder, so
getting
you're
some
like
kind of feat
constantly getting good
and
shit
other stuff. Yeah,
and stuff.
leveling's huge in that. Like there, and I don't know if you're a min maxer, but it does really reward min maxing, but also like when it comes to feats, it helps to plan ahead a ways because some feats that become accessible to you later on, where you're like, that is badass. Well, they have prerequisites and stuff where like you're
You have to
you're
know
you're
this thing before you're able to
yeah, you got to
be
know this thing. You've got to have this dex bonus, and your proficiency bonus has to be at least this much before you can do this feat, and different stuff like that. So it's a little more complicated, but I will say also on that side of things, Fantasy Grounds makes the character building
It
so easy.
does.
It makes it very easy.
Yeah, like
So easy.
when I did Quick's Pathfinder with the guard campaign, like yeah, it makes leveling up and picking feats and stuff
Yeah.
not complicated. It kind of just points you where you need to go and says, "Here's the list of things to pick from. Here's the other thing you pick from," and you go from there. But yeah,
Yep.
so let me we'll close out the stream for now here, and we'll hop off there for a minute. Actually, let me see if I can rate anyone. I don't know who else is on this late. And let's see here.
Guys, I got to take off. I got to walk my dog, and
That's
I
fine.
did like a 5 mile hike today, so I'm exhausted.
That's fine. We'll go raid run.
The stream's off. I gotta tell you, Moog, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to continue on Fridays yet.
Oh, okay.
Um, I'm getting bumped up at work, and I don't know my schedule yet.
Okay.
I'll find out in 3 weeks, so I can't let you know